Hello, my name is Henry Brand, and today I'm going to be talking about how I got a 9 in GCSE history. So for those of you that aren't familiar with my channel, I got all 9s at my GCSEs. I'm just trying to release videos basically about how I did that, give as much advice as I can. I try to respond to every comment I can and do video requests, things like that, just give as much advice as I can really. My plan currently is just to get out as many videos as I can. They may not be high quality at the moment, but I just want to make sure I'm doing them all for people who are currently in year 11, and then next year or later in the year I'm going to kind of re-upload videos but to a much higher standard and quality. But I'm prioritizing for now just kind of getting my advice out there. And today I'm going to talk about history, which has been requested quite a bit. History was difficult for me. I would probably have said when I was doing my GCSEs that history was the most difficult subject. I think it was very difficult because there's not really a limit to what you can learn. Like with maths, for example, you know, there's only a few ways to solve a problem or things like that. But history, you can just keep learning, like keep going down rabbit holes and find information and things that are useful to you. So I definitely found that difficult, and the essays are difficult too. But I'm going to be telling you just what I did to get a 9 in history, and I actually dropped 4 marks in my history exams in total. So I think I got 98% or something like that. So I did well. And yeah, I'll get straight into it. So number 1 for me is Seneca. I've explained this before in my previous video about chemistry, but I use Seneca a lot in all my subjects, and I am going to release a video on that. But Seneca is basically a website, and they do a revision website, and they've done lots of kind of courses for each of your subjects. So I'll show you now my kind of some of the history Senecas for GCSE that I did. But what it did for me was gave me a great foundation for all my knowledge that I could then build on with more detailed revision. But it's a great base for history, and it's just good revision. So I'll show you that now. Okay, so this is Crime and Punishment for Edexcel History, which was my exam board, and this is just a rough guide for you of the time I spent. So I had about 3 courses because due to COVID, one of my courses on the Cold War we didn't have to do. So I spent about 10 hours on each, I'd say. So just to give you guys an estimate, about 30 hours in total of history Seneca got me where I did, and it kind of went through courses like that, notes, things like that. It wasn't really that detailed, but it's just a great kind of base knowledge for anyone, just in case you get thrown off by a question. It kind of covers everything, so I'd really recommend Seneca. Secondly for me was GCSE Pod, which I don't have access to anymore because it was kind of through my school. But if any of you guys have GCSE Pod for history, I'd really recommend it. They just kind of went through videos on like all of the things you need to learn, and it was great for getting kind of key facts and key knowledge. I probably watched all of the GCSE Pods about 2 times over or something like that. I'd really recommend GCSE Pod. So that was my second tip. So third tip for me is flashcards, and that is flashcard using Quizlet. I'll show you that in a second, or I'll show you my flashcards in a second. But for me, flashcarding for history is so effective. It's really important in history, especially GCSE, just to learn key dates, key facts, really small key facts and key dates that just help your analysis. You can just drop in. That kind of stuff is so useful. So I really went deep in my flashcards. I probably did too much because I really wanted to do well in history, but I'd definitely recommend writing your own flashcards as well, but just kind of doing flashcards. You can use a technique I've done a video on. I kind of did a similar thing for Quizlet flashcards, but I just use Quizlet for key dates, things like that. And that really helps me just kind of learn all the key facts and knowledge like that. So I'd 100% recommend flashcards, and I'll show you that now. Okay, so here's my history GCSE flashcard folder for Quizlet. I divided each topic by key individuals, key facts and figures, and key dates. So here they all are. I had a total of, let me have a look now, 531 flashcards across history GCSE. I'll give you some examples now of Crime and Punishment, just things like literally simple dates of all the kind of dates I'd need. And then another one, key facts and figures for Weimar Nazi Germany. It's all quite simple facts, figures like that, but I just had so many of them. So the fact that I learned kind of all of them, so I just had so much tiny knowledge about so many things, meant that, yeah, any question that came up I was prepared for, and I just pretty much knew because I had such a good range of knowledge thanks to the flashcards. So that's what I'd recommend there. My fourth tip as well is practice questions. Here's my bank of practice questions that I did, just to give you guys some context. Across my GCSE year, I did about this many. So this is filled with practice papers and practice questions and things like that, and I'll show you that now. So here is just kind of the things I do. I just print out practice questions. I did it across the whole year really. And at the end I did practice papers mainly, but I would just get them marked by my teacher, hand them in, warm up with the small mark questions, and then probably do like one bigger question, 12 mark question, or a bit higher than that a week. I roughly kept this to a week, and it meant I have lots of examples of high mark questions, 12 out of 12s, 4 out of 4s, just so I had loads of examples and I knew how to write essay questions. And that's mainly due to my teachers. My teachers gave me great advice for all my questions, and it just meant I kept handing them in. Like, probably there's over 20 questions in there, and I just kept handing them in, and they kept giving me back and telling me what I needed to do more of, what I needed to. And so combining practice questions with things like flashcards really was pretty much it in history for me, because you just need to know all those tiny key dates and then be able to write a good essay and just fit them all in. And things like GCSE and Senica just help give you like a broad kind of overview of the context and stuff like that, so you like know what you're talking about a bit. And for me, that was how I dropped 4 marks in history and got a 9. A couple of things at the end then is, firstly, I think it's also just to have a good interest in history. So I'd always kind of be looking at YouTube videos, and I just had a general interest. So I was reading about things online, just anything like that, reading around your topics or watching videos on it, documentaries. I'd really recommend. It's good to just have an interest in it. And secondly, for me with history, I'd also recommend, what I did was probably too much. You can scale down quite a lot of everything I did and still get a 9. And I'd try and kind of relax in history as well. Like, I genuinely thought in history exam I messed up so badly. I thought my best case was getting an 8, which is still really good. I'm not going to deny that, but yeah, I thought I'd really messed up, and like compared to what I wanted, which was a 9 because I wanted to take history at uni and stuff like that. And it ended up being my best exam, so it's a bit unpredictable. I think history seems a lot harder than it actually is in hindsight. So yeah, just try not to worry too much, and please leave any questions in the comments section. This is quite a big rush through it, but I will go over and release longer, more quality videos in the future. I just wanted to get it all out there, so you can feel free to go back and forth and just message me any questions, and I'll try and answer to all of them. Thanks for watching.